The most significant thing about today and any other day is who you become in the process. And you have to remember that you're always building your own house. Welcome back, Life with Carrie. I'm about to share some tea with you. Before I share, I need for you to hit that like and subscribe button. It's early. I'm bouncing off the walls. Let's get into what's going on in my house because it's been lots. First and foremost, one of my goals on my vision board, be a real estate investor. I have been investing in real estate out of state. If you're investing in real estate out of state and you're relying on an out of state, referral contractor, you're relying on a referral, I want you to stop right there and I want you to pause and listen to what I have to say. Referrals do not replace your own operational oversight. That's the first lesson I want you to learn. I want you to write this down. So if you don't have a pen and paper, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Get your pen and your paper, and let's get into some business. I will also say that I'm very passionate about real estate, and I am a real estate investor. Woo woo. My ultimate goal is to build generational wealth for my family, because I'm giving myself about, let's say 5 more years maybe in corporate. I really do not want to be working until I'm 80. I really am being very assertive about this. And if you're interested in it as well, I would say continue to follow me and listen to some of my stories, because I'm not that person that's going to gatekeep or wait until I made it and then say, hey, follow me. Like everyone always waits till they're made it. I'm going to take you to take you on a journey with me if you're willing to come with me. So let's get into where I've been. I was in a real estate program where you paid your upfront fees, paid about all that money, right? That's $1,000. They rolled out the red carpet. I have access to my coach 24/7, who's amazing. I have access to a real estate agent, specialized. Also have insurance agent, in addition to a contractor. And so it's been vetted by the program, so they're within control to follow up if certain things go sideways. And so for me, I did choose a contractor that was within the program. He's been with them for about 4 years, did amazing work. He's a builder. I saw his work. He did about 4 houses or so as he's been in this program. And as I hire him, there is something that I want you to write down to know, that referrals do not necessarily mean that they align to your standards. So it's all about alignment. And I'll get more into that. For me, I purchased, real estate in Cleveland. I live in Atlanta. Woo woo. And I did that because the price point was lower there. Because I know some of y'all looking at me sideways like, why would I do that? But the price point is low there. And I was excited about really being that true investor, independent, and doing this like on my own. I have done it with like family members and such, but I really wanted to learn the ins and outs. And so there are a lot of things that I learned along the way. So Cleveland, any Browns fans, any LeBron fans out there, it's a great place to invest. I got a really great deal. And after I purchased the property, I realized some things. And some of those things are like, I don't feel like I made a mistake purchasing out of state, but the mistake I made, and where I want to help you, is that vetted by a program doesn't mean that it meets your operational standards, and you can't lose oversight there. Okay, so make sure you all are writing that down. The payments came in from this contractor. So let's say I paid initial deposit, and then there's certain draws that you have to pay. And so you really want to be careful about, I would say, the amount of the deposit. If you can kind of make that, gauge that based on your budget. And you also want to be mindful of when you pay the deposit and when you pay your draws. So if contractor says they're going to do X, Y, and Z with that deposit, right? And before they ask for that second draw, those things should be done and not necessarily in progress. And so here's where it gets good. I made a payment, like that second payment, and I was hesitant about making this payment. And I'm like calling my coach, like, should I make this payment? And with that reassurance, I made it. And I was like, okay, because it seemed normal after the conversation that I had. And so I didn't know anything different, but when I did that, I lost my leverage when I made that second payment because things were still in process with the deposit. And so technically, he didn't need that second payment yet. And I want to get into that payments aren't driven by, like, payments have to be made when progress is complete, like completion of the work, not things in progress. So it's kind of like you don't want somebody to gut out your, let's say your engine, your car, and put this part over here, put this part over there, put this part over there, and then say, okay, because it's, what is today? April 13th, I need my payment today. No, payments aren't based on your urgency or the contractor's timeline or pressure or preservation of relationship. Payments are based on when the work is complete. So if you say that you're going to put in my water heater, you're going to fix my windows, you're going to pay my exterior of my house, like all that has to be complete before you pay these people. So make sure that you're doing that because they will try to get by and you'll have that notion like, oh, this stuff is going on in my house and I'm about to pay this guy. But all they doing is just putting everything everywhere. Just like the Scarecrow and the Wizard of Oz. They took a straw, put them over here, put the straw, put it over there, put it in the backyard, all that stuff. So I'm digressing. But anyways, I think you all get my point. And so next, I upgraded my system. And so my system now is, and I've written it down, it's like 5 things have to happen as I think about what I would do differently. And so that first thing is payment is based on timelines, progress, completion. That's the first one. So write that down. Number 2, you want timestamp photos or videos. But I encourage you to put in your operational budget to travel up to your property like every 30 days and tie your payments to when you'll be in town, because if it's not complete, are you going to pay? And then right there, what is your contractor going to say? He knows you're not going to pay if it's not complete. But if he sends you like photos that are, not full blown of the whole area and they're narrated to just show certain pieces, you're not going to see like that back wall isn't painted or the front of the garage is complete, but the side of the garage is not, because they're controlling the narrative. And so you want to be in control, right? So you want full view of everything. So what I would recommend to that, if you cannot fly up there, guess what you can do? You can get an independent verified third party to work for you. And so my third party that works for me, I got from TaskRabbit. She's amazing. You can go to Angie's list as well. And that way you can have someone neutral, right, looking and providing you what you need if you can't get up there. But I really want you to put it in your budget and get up there because you don't want to be AI'd. I call it AI because AI, like, there's a lot of scams going on. You don't know what you're looking at these days. So I would say have that. And then the other thing that I put in place, what did I do? Like, no final payment until, again, a final walkthrough is complete. And so what you don't want to happen is, let's say there's a lot of miscellaneous things that are like small, like, and the contractors got done 90% of the work. You want the work 100% complete. You don't want to pay him that final payment and you don't have a mailbox. Or look at my garage. You see that plywood board? He didn't finish it. He sent me what he wanted me to see so he can get that second payment. But again, even if it's your final payment, things can linger on and they'll hide those things and you can't see what you can't see. until you go there and you do your full 360. And again, on my garage, there was a hole in the back where he was supposed to change out the roof. You think he sent me that photo? And then I'm so excited, like I told you, like, oh, all things are done, let's get this going. And there were some things that were lingering. And then there's no leverage. You lost it because you now have given him his full payment. So book you a flight and go ahead and check on your asset. And then finally, you need to have a signed lien waiver release. So anytime its payment is required, make sure you have a document that's a signed lien waiver release so that they don't put any type of mechanical liens on your property, and it's validating that you paid this person, right? And so you want to have that. And guess what? If you don't have all those 5 things, guess what you're going to do? No money is moving. So write that down. No money moves until all these 5 things happen. And this sounds so simple, what I'm telling you, but when you are so excited and you are actually immersed in your first or your second deal, sometimes all the stuff go out the window and you get so excited and you forget, like, oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I am telling you, if you're not checking off all these 5 things, and if you want to leave me a comment, you want to ask me any questions, please feel free to do that. If you're not checking off all those 5 things, no money moves. Point blank simple. What I realized was that when you have all those 5 things in place, again, you're not pressured by your contractor. You will understand that you're not within their timeline. That's not what you're working towards. You're working on things actually being completed. You are not rushing. There's no sense of urgency. Everything's balanced. You did the scheduling on your calendar. You know when you're going to talk to your contractor. You know when you're going to fly, wherever you're going to fly. And then you don't have to worry about preservation of relationships, right? Because this is business and this is your money. And so the outcome of my first contractor, guess what happened? I fired him. I fired him. Why? Why, you ask? Number one, he ran off with my money. I fired him because he did not complete those 5 things and more. And so it took, I would say, expensive tuition. And what that means is me losing money in order to come to the realization, like, oh my God, stop, put structure in place. Although you're in that program, you still are the owner of your LLC and you have to run it as such, because no one's going to give you that money back that you lost, right? Like, you hold it with your heart and you guard it, seriously. So he was terminated. And when he was terminated, there was a sense of relief because he kept pushing out the dates. Number one, after getting paid and saying, oh, the cabinet's coming in this week. Oh, they coming in next week. Oh, I'm going to be done by April 16th. Oh, now May 16th. And what you don't know is every time that date changes, your profits, your investment may end up being a money pit if you continue to let that behavior happen. So I'm telling you to cut the cord early. Yep, cut it early. When you see they're not doing what they say they're going to do not let those dates get beyond the holding costs that you set aside for you to have that property, whether you're flipping it or whether you're renting it. So I hope this helps you. Really excited for you to watch my next video where we really talk about tying payments to an actual milestone. But before that, if you want my milestone payment template and my deal review checklist, comment checklist, and subscribe if you want real life execution lessons and not just hype, because I am an open book, not a gatekeeper. We in this together. And just remember what I said. The only thing significant about today, the only thing, or tomorrow, is who you become in the process. And we are becoming what? We are becoming real estate investors, building generational wealth for our families. Clock it. Bye for now.